So the first thing you want to do is to find the two pieces of the stalk. You want one to be in the bottom layer and one to be in the top layer. So if they are both in the bottom layer, move one of them to the top layer. If one is in the top layer and one is in the bottom layer, align them so that they are in this position, opposite each other. Then do an R2 move to connect the pieces. Next, you want to find two of these pieces. Notice that they are specifically the bigger pieces and not these smaller pieces. If they are both in the bottom layer and not solved, move them to the top layer. If they are already in the top layer, then you're fine. To repeat, make sure that you have both of the bigger slopey pieces in the top layer. The next thing you want to do, once you have both of these pieces in the top layer, is to identify which case you have. If you have this case, where the two pieces are opposite to each other, rotate it so it is in this orientation, where the slope is facing towards you, not where the slope is facing to the side. Once you have that, do this algorithm. R2, U prime, R2, U prime, R2. If you have this case, where the pieces are connected but not solved, then do this algorithm. R2, U, R2, U2, R2, U prime, R2, U prime, R2. So they should now be solved. Next, we're going to solve the top layer. We will save the middle layer for last. If you have an adjacent swap, which means two of the pieces are solved, like this, or it could be any two pieces that are solved, then do this algorithm. Hold the solved pieces on the left. R2, U prime, R2, D, R2, U prime, R2, U, R2, B2. If you have this case, which is where none of the pieces are solved correctly, i.e. an opposite swap, do this algorithm. R2, U, R2, U, R2, U prime, R2, D, R2, U prime, R2, U, R2, D prime, R2. Next, we're going to solve this middle layer. At this stage, there are many possible cases. If you have this case, where none of the pieces are solved, then do this algorithm. R2, E, R2. If you don't have this case, move to the next step. At this step, there are many possible cases. All the cases are solved by the same algorithm. R2, U2, R2, U2, R2, U2. To solve this step, align the equatorial layer and put the two solved pieces on the left. Then do the algorithm. Be aware that this piece can look solved when in fact it is actually unsolved. For example, in this case, these two pieces are solved and this piece is not solved, so I will do the algorithm. Once you have done this step, you may realize that you have to do it again. This is perfectly fine. Continue to do the algorithm, holding the solved pieces on the left and the unsolved pieces on the right until the equatorial layer is solved. Then align the cube and you are finished. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. To get familiarized with this method, make sure to click this video and watch the example solves I did, or this video to see some awesome banana cube patterns. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.